Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me. And only Ann can. We were just talking. We had a little technical difficulties with some Zoom updates, apparently. My name is Philip Pulley. I am on the governing board. I'm a member at large. I retired high school teacher and now teach part-time for ISU. And our session today is on coding in middle school with our host from CodeHS, Lee Ann Grant. And I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you take over.
Okay, well, before I start my slides, hi, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. I am also, in addition to being a professional development specialist at CodeHS, I am also on the IDA governing board, and I'm with the Corn Belt region, which is the exact same area as Phil is. Actually, we both live in the Bloomington area, and very glad, like I said, to see you today. I love middle school computer science. I love middle school students specifically. And so I taught middle school and high school computer science before coming to CodeHS in very rural schools. And so I have a lot of experience with those middle school challenges. And we're going to talk about a lot of those today. So I am going to go ahead and share my slides with you. So you can see here. All right, can you see my screen? Are you just seeing my window that has my slides?
No, I'm seeing the whole.
Yeah, we don't want that. Let's stop share.
It
There are some things on Zoom that have changed. So I need to try this again.
was showing your presenters. Sorry.
Application windows. This should be it now. Okay, that's better.
There we go.
All right. I didn't see the green highlight around there. So what I'm going to do today is anytime you guys have any questions, please stop me. You can unmute yourself. You can put it in the chat. I will be monitoring the chat. I'm going to be giving you guys some links today, a lot of things that you'll be able to access. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you access to my slides. And so this is a link so you can view the slides. All the links are in the slides as well, but I will be dropping them into the chat. And hopefully you guys have access to those and I did share it correctly. So let's go ahead and get started. Getting started teaching computer science in middle school. All right. So first of all, I already told you a little bit about me. I would love to know, why did you choose this webinar to view today? Why did you come and see us? Maybe where do you teach? Have you used CodeHS in the classroom before? Or what is your experience teaching computer science? You can unmute yourself if you want to, but go ahead and throw those in the chat. As I'm moving on, we'll just continue to watch and I'll look at what you guys are putting in there. So I would love for you guys to tell me about you as well. They have access in the chat, correct? Yep. So I'm going to go on while you guys are doing that, so I'm not sitting here in complete silence. And I already told you who I am. So what we're going to do today, K through 8 administrator who want to better understand computer science and what it looks like in the classroom. I love that. And thank you so much for coming. I wish more administrators took the time to understand computer science. Even the ones who have huge computer science programs, it's just a subject that is not as well known to most administrators. So thank you so much. Browse the CodeHS website and curious about possibly trying it next school year. Perfect. We'll talk about that a little bit too. All right, so we're going to talk about who is the middle school learner, first of all. And if you are a middle school teacher, you understand that already, so you're going to get a kick out of this. We're going to look at some challenges and solutions for computer science, specifically in the middle school level. So when we talk about middle school, we usually talk about 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, or 6th, 7th, 8th grade, somewhere in there, okay? And then we're going to talk about our middle school course overview, and we're going to do some course exploration. I'm going to actually put you guys into a course as a student today, and you'll enjoy that. All right, we're going to skip this. We're not doing that. If you need a CodeHS account and you have never been on CodeHS before, okay, it is completely free to sign up. I'm going to drop this link into the chat. You can sign up. You should sign up as a teacher, and you should sign up using your school email. The reason we do this is that we manually verify teachers to make sure you're teachers. Like, we go to school websites, we have to make sure that you are who you are. And so by doing that, because you'll have access to like solution code and things like that, you have to sign up before you actually enroll as a student, like in our course too, but you sign up as a teacher. You can do both sides as a teacher. You can act as a student and you can act as a teacher, but you have to sign up as a teacher. All right, so I am going to drop this in the chat and then I'm going to pause for a couple of seconds, because if you're not signed up for CodeHS, you will not be able to get into this section, okay? A section is what we call a course or a class that a student is in. So to be able to sign up for this workshop section, you need to be logged into a CodeHS educator account, and then you can click on this link. It will not work. If you click on this link and you're not signed up, it will automatically just prompt you to sign up. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop this link. If you get in and you're ready to move on, if you could give a thumbs up or a high five or like a raise your hand kind of thing in Zoom as part of our reactions, our Zoom reactions, I would absolutely love that, please, just so I can see that you guys are with me and that I can move on. I don't want to keep going without the majority of you being able to have access to this. And if you don't want to have access to it, that's perfectly fine too. If you're just here for the information, that's great. I will just kind of see where you guys are at. Thank you, Jessica. I'll give it 1 to 2 minutes and then we'll just move on anyway. Actually, while you guys are doing that, I'll just tell you about CodeHS, because you're gonna take a little bit anyway. So what is CodeHS? If you're not familiar with us, CodeHS is a comprehensive platform for teaching computer science in elementary, middle, and high schools. And so we have a K through 12 web-based computer science curriculum. Thank you, Chuck. Everything is completely online, but we do have offline activities for students. We also have online and offline professional development for teachers. And it is a full software platform with teacher tools and resources. And one of the greatest things is that it's free. Like I said, it's free to sign up. It's free to use our curriculum. You do get into a cost base when you get into some of our pro tools. But I was a free teacher. I used CodeHS for years as a free teacher. Before I came to work for them, I had pro for 2 years before I came to work for CodeHS. Thank you, Mary. And it is completely possible to teach this curriculum using the free version. Okay, obviously we would love for you to sign up for the pro, but it's not absolutely necessary. If we didn't want to offer free, we wouldn't have it available. So when I talk about the comprehensive platform, we have instant feedback and submission systems. We have auto graders for our coding, which is great because it won't allow students to move on unless they have actually got the program correct. We do have grading and tracking tools for teachers. Most of those are pro, but basically it's all web-based. You have no additional downloads or plugins. We do sometimes have videos that are outside, that are embedded videos into our platform, that if you have YouTube block, but we always give links. This is an alternative link if you can't watch it on YouTube or things. But everybody, thank you so much. We are able to, I have 4 in, I think, so I am going to keep going from here. All right, so why is this not going? Oh no. I think I'm logged out of Slido, so give me just 1 second. Ah, it's not working. Okay, so anyway, I was gonna ask you guys, with this interactive slide, it was gonna create a word cloud, but for some reason it's not working on, and it might just be because I have no idea why it's not working, because it worked this morning when I tried it. Go ahead and tell me in the chat. How would you describe the middle school learner? In one word, two words, anything. How would you describe the middle? Distracted, very much so. What else do you guys got? I have a lot of words. Okay, well, I think everybody else might be afraid to share. Let's see what Chat GPT said about the middle school learner. So this is in the sound or in the context of a let's see, like somebody who is exploring the wild. Let's just think about this story as that. So it says, ah, behold, the elusive middle school learner, a wacky species caught in the wilds of awkwardness and curiosity. Middle school learners are a unique and hilarious species of human, akin to a blend of a caffeinated squirrel and a philosopher deep in thought. They shuffle through the halls like they're in a video game, dodging obstacles and occasionally forgetting the controls. They're armed with backpacks that seem to double as a camping gear for a month-long expedition. Armed with braces and untamable hair, they possess an uncanny ability to communicate in grunts and eye rolls. And when faced with complicated math problems, their eyes glaze over like donuts yearning for a sugar coating. But despite all the quirks, they are a wonderful bunch, brimming with dreams of becoming the next gaming champion or the ruler of the TikTok world. A unique mix of energy, unpredictability, and endearing charm. The middle school learner is a delightful and hilarious creature that never fails to bring laughter and amusement to our lives. So thinking about this last part, the positive part, there's a lot of things that we can do with these middle school learners that elementary school is not quite there yet, and high schoolers are like, I'm done with this, I just want to go. So they have that curiosity, they have that energy. There's a lot of opportunity with middle school learners in computer science because it can be so creative and it can be so innovative. So before we get started in looking at some solutions, let's look at some challenges of computer science in the middle school. So the first thing that we look at when we think about computer science in middle school is abstract concepts. So they're moving up from elementary school, and computer science often introduces abstract concepts that like algorithms or programming logic and data structures, which can be really challenging for some middle schoolers to grasp. A next one might be lack of prior exposure. So oftentimes, many middle school students may not have any prior exposure to coding or computer science concepts at all. And so that makes it difficult for them to understand and apply the principles that they're starting to learn in the middle school. Another one is technical resources. So middle schools may have limited access to computer labs or devices or software necessary for effective computer science education. The next one is teacher preparedness. And this is where we run into a lot of challenge a lot of times. So some middle school teachers either don't have specialized training in computer science, which also leads them to a lack of confidence in the subject, or they are moving from a different subject, or there is no dedicated computer science teachers. And either they're trying to teach it in a classroom, or you have a librarian specialist or somebody who is teaching it once a week to these students, but it's not a consistent. Another challenge might be gender disparities. So often computer science historically has faced gender disparities with girls being underrepresented in the field, and due to various social and cultural factors. So how can we bridge that gap between the challenges and the solutions? So implementing computer science in the middle school presents those unique challenges, But since middle school students are so distinct in their transitional stage of adolescence, you have to think about they're really experiencing significant physical and cognitive and emotional changes. They're seeking independence and they're exploring their interests. So these factors set them apart from elementary and high school students, making it essential to provide the tailored curriculum to their needs. So middle school computer science needs to be highly engaging, it needs to be interactive, and it needs to be relatable to students from all backgrounds, no matter what prior experience that they have. It has to allow for multiple entry points and accommodate a range of student levels. Maybe you have one primary school or elementary school that has a really good teacher that loves teaching computer science, or they're really interested in it. So all of their fourth graders have done Scratch. So they come up to a middle school and only a handful of them have done Scratch or have had any kind of introduction to the computer science, and everybody else doesn't. So you have to have the curriculum that is going to apply to everybody. You also need to have support for the transition from elementary to middle school coding environments. And so what that means is if they are using coding in the elementary school, what are they using and how can we bridge that gap? How can we make a transition easy into some of the more abstract concepts that they are going to learn? We also need to integrate it into other subjects, which is very easy, but often a challenge when it comes to a teacher saying, well, how am I supposed to put computer science into an English class? And then it also needs to prepare middle school students for high school. So there's a lot going on here, right? So CodeHS has that middle school computer science solution. So how we've done this is we've created a modular customizable curriculum. What does that mean? I'm going to show you here in a little bit when I talk about modular. Okay, we have a full K through 12 pathway option. So I am going to click on this link here. Okay, and I'm going to give this to you. If you are in the slides, you can see this. So what this is we have a K through 12 computer science pathway. So our first is our elementary pathway, and you can see that you can take a computer science pathway or an interdisciplinary pathway in our elementary schools. Primarily what we're going to be talking today is our middle school pathways. So we have two different pathways, a computer science exploration pathway, which we do computer science explorations 1 and 2, and then the last year in 8th grade is Python Basics with Tracy 1, which is a Python course that is a 1-semester course. Okay, and then we have 4 different pathways in the high school level. The second pathway in middle school, I forgot. All it does is we only do the computer science explorations 1, and then we spend 2 years, or essentially 2 semesters studying Python with Tracy, the turtle. So that is our K through 12 pathway, and you can definitely explore that a little bit more. We have extensive teacher training. So this link here is our professional development page of all the different things that we have. I will drop that link for you too, but it is in the slides. I'm going to close that one out. Another thing we have is curriculum integration. So CodeHS has created a solution that integrates computer science into other subjects such as math, science, or art. And to demonstrate its interdisciplinary nature and its real world applications, we like to promote the computational thinking throughout all subject areas. So it is easy to integrate this into other subjects. All right, so let's look at that modular solution for middle school computer science and what that means. So to meet the unique needs of all the middle school, we've taken that modular approach, like I said. We have newer middle school offerings. They actually are a little over a year old. Each module that we have for our middle school students focuses on a specific topic in computer science. It's only 10 hours long, it's introductory, and it can be taught as a standalone module. If you take one module and just teach that in this class, it'll work. If you want to do consecutive modules, maybe you do have a librarian specialist or somebody that is starting to do computer science, or you have a dedicated computer science teacher, they can do several modules. The modules are aligned to both state and CSTA standards. So we have 10 new modules, but we actually have 12 now. So I'm going to show you, we have 10 modules built into the course and 2 supplemental modules that are going to be added into the course this summer, and I will show you what they are. Okay, so some are specifically designed for lower middle school, some are for upper middle school, and then others are designated for any grade at the middle school level. So when we looked at our pathway options here, you can see that we really looked at Computer Science Exploration 1 and Computer Science Explorations 2. Those are the ones that consist of our modules. When you get into Python Basics with Tracy 1, that is a course itself, a semester course itself. So let's look at these course overviews so I can show you. So the first one is CS Explorations 1. I'm just going to drop actually both of those links in here. We basically have 3 courses, but they have the same material. So we have our Computer Science Explorations 1, Computer Science Explorations 2. Each is 5 modules. So you have 50 hours of content. You can pick and choose the order of most of them. There's only 2 or 3 that actually have to be done successfully. So you have to do like one before you can do another because you want to understand the second one if you didn't. So that's the only thing that we have at this point. So let's take a look at that one first, at first one. So Computer Science Explorations 1 is first is Carol Adventures 1 and then Carol Adventures 2. This is an example that obviously Carol Adventures 1 needs to come before Carol Adventures 2. But Exploring Computing, Tracy Adventures, which is Python, both Carol Adventures 1 and 2 deal with JavaScript language. So the students, which believe it or not, and most people don't know this, Scratch is a form of JavaScript. And so it is, if students are familiar with Scratch, transitioning into JavaScript could be quite easy for them. Exploring Computing, where you can explore different technologies. We have Tracy Adventures. This is our Python module. It's recommended for early middle school students, just as Carol Adventures 1 is. And then Exploring Digital Citizenship, which is a very, very cool course. And so if you wanted to look at this, you can view the syllabus from here, or you can explore the course. So if you go into explore the course, you can actually see what is in each of the lessons within the module. So this is a 10-hour module, and we have for this one, we have 5 different lessons in this first module. Okay. Then we get into our Computer Science Explorations 2. In Computer Science Explorations 2, we have Exploring Code with Carol. So when I was talking about Carol Adventures or Tracy Adventures, and a very, very cool how they were built. They're actually going on an adventure. It's more story-based. I'm going to show you guys here in a little bit what that looks like. But this one is basically they're learning the basics of programming. It's not as story-based. So I would suggest that's why it's in the second course. But if students have never taken the other 2 Carol with JavaScript, they could still start with this one. Okay. Exploring the internet, Exploring Web Design 1, because it says 1, you could know that some of our newer modules that we don't have in here yet are Web Design 2. Exploring Art with Code and Exploring Game Design. Okay. So we have, these are our pre-built courses, like I said, 5 modules in each, a total of 50 hours of content. Now we have another option. The other option is our mix and match course. This includes all 10 modules. You can move them around however you want. You could take modules out, you could add, keep them in. It's however you want to do that. But all we did is we combined the CS Explorations 1 and 2 into one course alone. Okay. So I will give you the course guide and the course overview here in the links as well. Okay. So let's look at some supplemental materials. So I'm going to actually click on that link. So this is our mix and match school course. Okay. You can see that it is 100 contact hours because all of those modules are in there. All right, you can also go down and you can demo some of the programs and what they look like. Can look at course resources, you can look at standards on this page. And then there's some, you can explore the course or you can enroll yourself as a student as well. Now I'm gonna look at the syllabus because I'm wondering if they added okay. So they did add the 2 new modules onto the syllabus. Okay, so the first one, I'm gonna zoom in here, is exploring data and spreadsheets. So we have a brand new module. It's for upper or lower middle school. So the students are going to learn to collect, organize, visualize, and analyze data using spreadsheets. So this isn't something we've had in the course before. The other one would be exploring web design 2. So students can build on their skills from exploring web design 1. So obviously it is in succession to learn the basics of web aesthetics and design principles and create multi-page websites. So they're learning more about the CSS and things and about the styling of the page instead. So those are our 2 modules. Like I was showing here, we have 2 supplemental modules. We have another option. So we have a whole separate course that is called Introduction to AI for Middle School. Okay, and so this Introduction to AI for Middle School is 10 hours. So essentially it could be another module that you add in. If you want to view that, I'm going to actually go back to my home page here. Why is it asking me to log in? That's weird. Okay, so on the left-hand side, since you are in, you should have this view as a teacher. So all you would have to do is go to course catalog on the left-hand side and let it load. And if you go to artificial intelligence, or you could put, maybe you just wanted all middle school to see all of our middle school. Let's just do that. All of our middle school courses, you can see our mix and match. We have a dedicated web design course. Here's our explorations 1 and 2. Here's our introduction to AI for middle school. So you can add this module into the other course. Okay. So all you would have to do is says add to courses or assign. So if I already had a course made, I could, let's look for, where is it? I've already done it, so I'm not going to do it, but I thought that I named this. I guess I don't have it, so that's okay. You can name it to whatever course it is that you actually have already created, okay? But there's other objects and courses that you can look through. We specifically have coding and science, coding and math, world of computing, microbit, digital citizenship, virtual reality, coding exploration. So that includes music, sports, and art, tech apps and coding, and all of these are middle school appropriate courses, okay? But let's get back to our middle school and the course explorations that are available in the course catalog. So I want to talk to you about these actual modules and show you what it means. So some of the modules, like I said, are developed for lower middle and upper middle. So in our lower middle modules are specifically Carol Adventures 1, Carol Adventures 2, and Tracy Adventures. Okay, so in Carol Adventures 1, Carol has to encounters a lot of challenges. And this one, Riley the rabbit is stuck up in a tree. So this is Riley the rabbit right here. And Carol has to build a ladder to get up there. So the students are essentially saying, okay, this is the story, now do this. And then they watch a video and they read the story and then they do this. So it is broken up into very small pieces as well. In Carol Ventures 2, Carol is venturing on, and Carol is going to Egypt in this one. So if you look at this essentially, how could this be integrated into social studies? Very, very easily, because you're talking about countries at this point. Maybe it could be associated into English courses, and having them write about the countries that they're traveling from. So in this one specifically, Carol's going from Washington, D.C. to Eastern Europe, and then travels from Europe to Egypt. And the students are learning while loops to help Carol reach her destination on the world map for this specific activity. Then in Tracy Adventures, so Tracy is trying to find her cousin, under the sea, and Tracy is a turtle. And in one of the adventures, she encounters Delilah the dolphin. So this is Delilah. And Delilah wants Tracy and Carol, because Carol went with Tracy, to play a game where she balances these colorful balls in a stack on her nose. And so she needs them to throw the balls at her. And the students use radius and Y location to stack the balls on the dolphin. And I'm going to let you know that a lot of our Python course, any of our Tracy stuff, it is all based on X and Y coordinates. So there is a lot of math in Python. And so I love our middle school curriculum for Python, whether it is Tracy Adventures or it's the actual Python courses. How are we doing on time, Phil? We're doing okay. Okay, so in our upper and middle schools modules, we have 3 specifically saying, hey, you know what, these are mainly for maybe the 8th graders. So we have Exploring Code with Carol, where students learn the basics of programming by giving Carol dog commands in a grid world. And because this is not adventure-based, that's why we say it's more 7th, 8th grade than maybe 6th grade. We also have Exploring Art with Code, where students explore the intersection of art and technology by creating art using P5JS. And then we have our Exploring Game Design, and it introduces students to the basics of video game design, elements, game mechanics, sprites, and world design and game programs. And the students learn this, and it is a 10-hour module still, using P5 Play. So this is what Exploring Code with Carol looks like. So Carol's taking a walk around the north side of the pond. Remember the directions Carol can face and write a program to move Carol along the path from one edge of the world to another. And then the other one is there's a whole bunch of tennis balls all over the dog park, and Carol has to go and figure out her way around to pick up the tennis balls. So essentially they're learning new commands as they're doing it, and they're navigating around the world. Exploring Art with Code. This is actually, this is, what's it called? Portrait of a Woman by Pablo Picasso. And so they're taking this art and they're replicating it in a technical aspect using kind of an abstract art. And so they're creating a digital version of it. In the next one over here on the right, what they're doing is they're learning gradient. So as you can see, the squares are getting smaller. They're showing up one after another, and the color of them are getting lighter. The outline is getting lighter. So there's a lot of different aspects of art that there are learning in this one as well. There's not really, it wasn't anything for me to show for the game design one, so I do apologize for that. But the remaining 4 modules here are meant for any grade school level. So we do have a digital citizenship one, Exploring the Internet. Exploring the Internet is more on the cybersecurity or IT side. So they're really working on network protocols and different strategies to protect online information. We have Exploring Computing, where students explore different technologies and the impact that they have on our world. And then we have that Exploring Web Design one. Okay, so this is where they're learning the very basics of HTML and CSS. It's only a 10-hour module, so it is the very, very basics. In Exploring the Internet, this is a simulation where they are looking at networks. And so there are 6 devices in a network. You're going to click the green run button and start the simulation. Clicking on a device helps to prepare them to send a message, and clicking on a second device helps to send the message to that device. So they're essentially learning how networking works at that point. This is a one for Exploring Computing, where the students are learning about cloud computing and physical computing. And so this is an example of a formative assessment within the module where students are having to drag the correct ones to either the physical computing or the cloud computing, and then they get to check if they're correct or not. So I did talk about, those were our modules that we have included in the CS1 and CS2 courses, Exploration 2 courses. The next one that I wanted to show you was the Python Basics with Tracy 1. Like I said, it is 60 hours. It's 1 semester of content. It could be 7th or 8th grade. There are 37 lessons in it, but it teaches the students the basics of programming in Python. So they're going to learn commands and functions and control structures and things like that. So it's for complete beginners with absolutely no experience in computer science whatsoever. And then we have Python Basics with Tracy 2, and it extends on the concepts of that Tracy 1. and the students are going to learn how to use lists and manipulate strings and work with files. If your high school has a Python pathway, I would definitely recommend Python Basics of Tracy 1 and Python Basics of Tracy 2 to help to prepare them for high school. Absolutely. And since it's taught after the Tracy 1, it really needs to be covered before taking this course. Obviously, they need to be in succession. We have a third option, which is a full year course, 120 hours. All we've done is combine the two together. They're just in one course. So you don't have to, go to this course and then add this course in. It's already all there. But you can use any of our existing school content, introduction to physical computing, all the stuff that I showed you in the other middle school options. So now I want to show you an example lesson. Okay. So when you are in this here, okay, you should have a teacher side and you should see something that says student. Okay. I'm going to go to my courses and I'm going to find which section I put you guys in. Let's see. Should be the mix and match. Think this is it. Okay, it should say IDEA. This is the course that you guys, or the section that you guys should be in. It should say IDEA 2025 CSN middle school, correct? Thumbs up. Yes. Okay. So this is the teacher view. This is what you would see as a teacher. I have included all the modules. Okay. So I did put all 10 modules in here, but then I also wanted to show you how to get to those extra 2 modules that aren't in here yet. So if you go to, when you do have access to this course, and I can show you how to have access to it here in a second, the supplemental modules are here. But what I do want to show you is from the student view. So let's go through this lesson together, and it's called the rabbit chase. Okay. So in the rabbit chase, I'm going to go through this. The slides are the same thing that you would see. So when you open this up and say this is your first lesson, you're going to see this. You have the option to watch the video directly on the CodeHS site, or you can watch it on YouTube if that's an option that you would like, or you can switch over to the slides up here on the top. I'm going to use the slides instead of playing a video for you. I'm not going to play a video for you on a webinar. So, and then we're going to go back to the first activity, and I'm going to have you guys actually try it. We have a little bit, so this will be really cool for you guys to get the experience of what a student's going to see. So this specific lesson or activity is called Time to Clean Up. So Carol was in the park with all of her friends playing, and these are the slides that the students would see in the video with somebody talking over just as I am. Okay. All of a sudden, the sky grows dark. And everybody says it's time to go home. They bid farewell to Carol, say, bye, Carol, great game, so long, see you tomorrow. Well, now it's time to clean up. And all the tennis balls are all over the park. And you can see over here on the right-hand side, Riley the rabbit. It looks like a little bit of a mischievous rabbit. But Carol's job then is to actually clean up. So can you help Carol clean up the park? And so what we're going to do is we're going to write a program to help Carol put each tennis ball into the red bucket. So essentially, Carol is going to use a command called take ball. So she's going to move to the ball, take the ball, and put it back in the bucket. Now, you can take ball more than time. So if I wanted Carol to move to this one, take ball, move to this one, take ball, all 4 of them, then go back and put ball, that's perfectly fine. Or you can do one at a time. So I don't ever tell students that. I want to discover how they do it first of all. So they're going to use a second command called put ball. So these are the only commands that Carol knows. Put ball, take ball, move, and turn left. So if I wanted to turn right, I need to know that I have to do turn left 3 times. We're very, very basics at this point. Okay. So we're going to go to this exercise. I'm going to have you guys actually try this. Okay. So If you did click on the video, you can just click next. It'll take you to the activity, and this is where we are. So this is what it looks like. This is the resulting world, what the students are supposed to see. This is where they will type their commands. And then this is where what the beginning world is. If I wanted to view the assignment again, I can go up here. I can look at the assignment. It gives me information here on what it's actually is supposed to, or what I'm actually supposed to be using. Okay. The test cases is going to be our auto grader. So if I check my code right now, my style looks great. No, because I have a comment there. That's why. But my functionality in my world doesn't work. So that's why it's not going to pass the auto grader. Generate AI hint is not going to be here for students. You have a teacher account, you might be able to see it, but students will not be able to see that. So one of the other things I wanted to tell you is that if students are familiar with block coding, such as Scratch, there is an option in the Carol programs, if you're using JavaScript with Carol, to turn on block coding. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back out into this course as a teacher. And I'm going to go into my course settings. And I'm going to, where is it? Oh, I know where it is. It's configure. Sorry. Block and text settings. And I'm going to allow block and text settings. So now, if you're in that, if you refresh, if you haven't saved anything, I'm going to go into this course as a student again. Come on. And I'm going to find, oh no, I can't do it that way. I'm not a student in my own course. Sorry. These are courses that I've actually enrolled in. So I'm going to go back to my actual course here. My sections. And I called it this one. And I'm going to go to assignments. And I'm going to switch to student. And now, if I go onto that same lesson, you can see that it turned color. So I know which one I'm on. And the key is at the top. Now you can see that I have block coding available. And then, like I said, it's only available for Carol and JavaScript and HTML. So when we get to CSS, it's not available, but only with Carol and JavaScript and HTML. So in the very beginning of the web design, one course. So now what I could do is I could move Carol. I need to move Carol 1, 2, 3 times. All I have to do is drag this. And then I'm going to take ball and I'm going to run this so you guys can see what happens. So when that happens, I now have that ball disappeared. Okay. So now I'm going to move again. This is a great way for students to begin to learn before they start typing out the actual words. And if I want this to go slower, I can move this slower. Okay. Maybe I want to now turn left, turn left. Now you can see Carol's facing, oh, I want it to go slower. Carol's facing the other way. Now I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to move 4. And I'm going to put ball, and I picked up two balls, so I can put ball twice. I'm going to run this. Carol's going to go pick up 1, move, pick up 1, turn around, go back, and put ball twice. Now I'm going to have Carol move 1 more time so I can show you what it's going to look like afterwards. There are 2 balls in the bucket. Okay. So this is just an example, like I said, of what the students are going to be doing, what is possible. They're able then to switch back to this view. If you wanted your students, you can always turn it off. Now I'm going to have, no, actually I'm going to have turn left. I need to learn my coding a little bit better for a little bit, and I'm going to turn left, and you can see that no matter if I type it in or anything, then it's going to run the same. Okay. So that's an example of one of our lessons. We do have lesson plans. So I'm going to give you a sample lesson plan and talk to you really quick at the end here about what it looks like from the teacher side. So when you click on that lesson plan, you should be able to see something like this. Are you able to see it? Thumbs up. Yes. Okay, perfect. So what this does is it gives a description of the rabbit chase and what the students or what the essentially the lesson is about. You have the lesson objectives. Here within the lesson plan, you have the video. You can either print the slides or view the slides from here if you have the pro version. Or if you click into this, it takes you directly to the activity. So you have all the activities in the lessons that are in, or the activities that are within this lesson. You have the solution references. You have problem guides. So the difference between a solution reference and a problem guide is that I'm going to go to the problem guide and show you. First, we have motivation that is not in the solution code. Still gives you the solution, but then at the very bottom, we have common questions. So these might be challenges or hiccups that the students might run into that if you're like, I don't know how to help them with this. Well, the syntax for this command can be tricky. How can we help them learn what we need them to do by capitalizing the color and keeping the O in orange lowercase? Then we watch out for the period between color dot orange. So the first and then second. So it's just kind of ways to make them learn or ideas to have them learn. Okay. Going back to the lesson plan, we do have vocabulary. If there's any vocabulary that they're learning, some planning notes here, teaching and learning strategies. So we have our lesson opener, the activities that the students are going to go through, suggested time that it's going to take, lesson closer, what prior knowledge are they going to need at this point? And this was the third lesson. So they've already learned this stuff here. I just brought you into the third lesson because I wanted to show you what the adventure base looked like. You have all the slides here as well. And if you were to click into these slides, sorry about that. If you were to click into these slides, it actually shows you are able to make a copy and edit the notes or whatever, but all the presenter notes are in these copies here. And then we have discussion questions for the beginning of class and end of class, and suggested modifications for advanced students, students needing additional support, and English language learners. Okay. And then we have standards down here as well. All of our lessons are available in Spanish as well. There's just a very simple setting to be able to turn that on. Some lesson variations, like I walked you through the slides, we might go through the video, you might have them watch it individually, you might show the video together as a class. What I did is I showed the video as a class, but I stopped to reinforce. And so, hey, did you guys understand what she just said or he said? And let's talk about this. And I might put some things on the board and have discussions. They're just not watching a video and learning from it. There's not a lot of examples in this one, but the exercises they could do individually, they could do small group exercises. You can have them do it with a partner, you can assign it for homework. There's just so many different ways to be able to teach this stuff. And then as far as the lesson opener and discussion questions, you could create a worksheet or a handout or an activity. It could be a short quiz video you create. You could do the discussion. It could be exit tickets. It could be a lot of different things that you use the things in the lesson plans for, but they are there for you. I already showed you how to get to the course catalog. You can filter everything. So if you do want to find this course, I'm going to show you one more time, and I'm on the teacher side. Go down on the left-hand side under teacher, go down to curriculum, and you go to course catalog. When the course catalog loads, you can go ahead and go to middle school or any other thing that you want to do up here. And then you can add this to your courses. And that's when you're able to start seeing the assignments and you're able to move some things around. To learn how to do all that, We have some great webinars that you want to watch. You can go to our YouTube channel. We have 2024 webinars on our YouTube channel, our extensive amount of webinars on how to do everything. But also on the left-hand side here, you should have something down under support called the knowledge base. So if I type in add module, here, it's going to teach you how to create modules and lessons to customize your course, how to delete them, how to import and export JavaScript modules, all this different stuff. So this is a very extensive area for you to be able to get support. And if you are interested in doing anything as far as learning more about CodeHS, I will drop this link for you just as well. How do you get to the lesson plans? Okay, so when you're in the course, okay, I'm going to go, once you add a course, you have to add the course yourself first. Okay. So once you have your courses here, when you go to courses over here on the left-hand side, you can see all the courses that you've added. Okay. If I was to click on, where's the mix and match course I just had? I'm going to click on a different one. I'm just going to go to fundamentals of cybersecurity. Okay. I'm going to click on this here. At the top here in materials, you see the course syllabus here. The lesson plans are over here. Okay, for each of the different modules. The other way is if you are in your assignments in the course itself, here, these are the lesson plans right there as well. But you do have to add that course first. So you actually own a course. And then you would create sections. So the course is the curriculum, and your section, like I was talking about the workshop section, is your actual class period. It's your students. So create a course first, and then you can add your students after that. And again, that's all in the knowledge base for you to be able to learn. I just don't have enough time to show you guys today. So we are about out of time. Phil dropped a link. So I want to tell you thank you so much. And if you could, do you guys already have any more questions for me?
We have a little time if they have questions. That's just a link to get your PD hours. So
Thank you, Jessica. Go ahead and explore. Like I said, all this curriculum, you can add as many courses as you want and explore this curriculum and start using it tomorrow with your students if you wanted to. Have them look, and when they go in to sign up, they just sign up as a student. If you have Google Classroom, we integrate with Google Classroom. And so it's easy to set up a Google Classroom link. So when you create a section as well.
quickly integrate with any LMSs.
We do. They are pro accounts. So a lot of times you do have to have a school license or a district license to do other LMSs. But we do have, is ClassLink the one that's free? I know Google Classroom is, but I want to say there's one more that links, and I don't exactly. Let's look. When you go to the knowledge base.
The most common ones I know are Canvas and Schoology. So
No, we do not do Schoology. Breakdown and integrations on CodeHS. So like I said, Clever. Clever was the other free one. So we have Google Classroom and Clever. And then as far as a pro feature, we have Clever District, ClassLink, Canvas, Blackboard, Moodle, Schoology, and a Buzz. I guess we can do some. It's not as common. We don't do a lot of our main ones are ClassLink, Canvas, Clever, and Google Classroom. But all that information is here. All of you have to do is type in integrations on the knowledge base.
okay.
Love that you're going to play around. Thank you. You too. Have a great night, Jessica. Thank you guys so much. If there's any more questions, hang out for a couple more minutes if you want to.